Let's put the all-season tires on the silver Toyota and install 4 winter tires on the red Mitsubishi. In the braking demonstration, the red car easily stops before the target. The silver car now slides much further than before and well past the target. In the cornering demonstration, the all-season equipped Toyota can't make the turn, while at the same speed, the winter-tired Mitsubishi easily negotiates the corner. But do you really need to buy 4 winter tires? Wouldn't 2 do just as well? We install 2 winter tires on the front wheels of the silver Toyota, but leave the all-season tires at the rear. The red Mitsubishi still has winter tires at all 4 corners. Let's see if there's a difference in the braking demonstration. Not only is the Toyota unable to stop before the marker, less grip in the rear than the front leads to a loss of control and a sideways slide. In the cornering demonstration, the new setup results in the same thing, a slide at the rear of the Toyota and loss of control. Winter tires on all wheels is the best setup for winter driving conditions.
The results are actually very dramatic, surprising even in these low-speed demonstrations. You can see that the tire-equipped vehicle always braked better, almost always went through the corner quite a lot more cleanly than the all-season equipped tire. And when you're driving every day, you won't see those differences every day. But once in a while, you will need the extra margin of safety from the better tire, and you've got to be equipped for that.
Well, the winter tires have distinct improvements in terms of handling and traction. More safety in terms of stopping distance and handling at speeds. So there's a decided difference.
I think the general message to get out there is that we're riding on quite sophisticated pieces of equipment, and the need to balance all 4 positions on a vehicle is extremely important.
Well, what I saw, and it's something that we hear on a regular basis and that people should really understand, is the importance of having 4 winter tires on any vehicle, be it a front-wheel drive, a rear-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive. Trying to get away with only buying 2 tires, it just doesn't work. There are too many compromises involved in keeping 4-season tires or only using 2 winter tires.
With front-wheel drive, if you've got 2 good tires on the front and 2 worn or wrong-season tires on the back, the consequence is that you have a vehicle that performs very well, at least as far as you can tell, until the moment it lets go, and then it becomes vicious. And we did see the situations here, and we're talking about very low speeds, 20, 30, 40 kilometers an hour, where the whole back end of the vehicle comes around. Obviously, at highway speeds, on public roads, that's not a situation you want to be in.
Ce qui ressort des démonstrations qui ont été faites aujourd'hui, c'est la preuve finalement que on ne peut pas garder la meilleure adhérence possible, le meilleur contrôle de son véhicule en ayant des pneus d'été ou des pneus toute saison sur un véhicule en hiver.
We find that tire-related issues are extremely important, more so in the wintertime than in the summertime. Everybody knows, you've all driven through snowdrifts, you've all driven through slush. When that happens, of course, your tires are no longer in contact with the roadway. You're literally floating on top of the snow, granules on top of the slushy, on top of the ice. That, of course, is a huge problem. So when we, in fact, look at collisions on the roadways in Canada, we find that this whole issue of traction is hugely important. The reason we have a mountain snowflake designation on winter tires is because nowadays we have a very soft rubber compound. We have sponge-type rubber that will literally squeegee the water off the ice surface. We have other compounds embedded in the tire to give it more traction, similar to what we used to have with studded tires. If you drive the same tires that you use in the summertime, in the wintertime, in the cold weather, they will be extremely hard as iron, and they will not grip the surface. They won't conform to the irregularities of the surface. So we need that very soft tyre to be able to grip those surfaces. The reason we recommend 4-winter tyres is so that you can maintain steering control and braking control at all 4 corners. The difficulty with having just 2 winter tyres, and the reason people question us, is that on a rear-wheel drive car they would normally put the winter tyres on the rear. That won't let you stop. That won't let you steer. The same happens with a front-wheel drive car. You would normally be expected to put those 2 winter tyres on the front. Now you've got traction on the front. Yes, you can get going. Yes, you've got pretty good stopping, excellent steering. But what happens is that you now have that front end of the car with extremely good traction and the rear end with no traction. So the rear end, of course, wants to spin out the front. It wants to overtake the front. So under braking conditions, we've demonstrated here today that when you brake, the back of the car wants to overtake the front of the car. So that is a problem. We have to have the same amount of grip level on all 4 corners of the vehicle. It's a huge control problem, which is really brought about graphically by front-wheel drive car, because a front-wheel drive car has so much more weight on the front wheels, so it has more traction there normally. And when you have the winter tyres on the front, you've added to that traction capability on the front, but you haven't added anything to the back of the vehicle. So the difficulty is that as you're stopping, the front end is literally slowing down much quicker than the back end is due to traction. So the back end, of course, wants to go fast on the front end, which means it will overtake the front, which means it will spin the vehicle.
Four-wheel drive has the benefit of gripping during acceleration to get started, but it's no different than a two-wheel drive vehicle as far as stopping goes. So he's misled to think that extra grip on acceleration will be realized when he has to stop for any kind of situation.
Stability control is a huge asset when it comes to vehicle safety. It's already proven to be an improvement in terms of the crashes, the number of crashes that we're seeing in the real world. Numbers quoted anywhere from sort of 30 to 40% improvement. That's an excellent thing. The other excellent thing is that you do not need to train the driver as to how to use it. The potential worry is that the driver doesn't have the appropriate tires on that vehicle and therefore doesn't maximize the ability of this electronic hydraulic system. So very, very important that they do have the proper tires, because you still cannot exceed the laws of physics. If you don't have any traction, it doesn't matter what type of magic system you got on the car, you don't have traction, you're going off the road. So as wonderful as these systems are, we still need to get the message across to people that we do need to have 4 winter tires on their vehicle. We made a special precaution to equalize the vehicles. We had vehicles here that had stability control, we had vehicles that had ABS, some that didn't have ABS. So what we've done is in each pair grouping, we made sure that they both had the same features. If they had stability control, we had the stability control turned off. If they had both vehicles with ABS, that was functional. If one vehicle didn't have ABS, then we disconnected the other vehicle with ABS. So for the most part, we tried to take the technology out of the system. We did allow the ABS to work in most of the cases except for the front-wheel drive vehicles. It was only those that were a mismatch in pairing, and so we had to disconnect the ABS on the second